What is up, everybody? The one and only Mad Dasher here, and today we're going to be going over what type of camera I use to record my videos and what type of software I use to edit my videos. Now, you might think that I'm using a fancy camera when I'm filming all of my videos, but in fact, all I'm using is my phone. And you can use your phone as well and still get really high quality videos. Now, the editing software that I use is Capcut. We're going to be going over Capcut for the PC, but you absolutely can follow the same directions for Capcut with the phone. The same concepts apply, but you'll be applying the concepts a little bit differently with your phone. But you can still follow along if you use your phone to edit videos. Capcut is one of the strongest editing softwares out there and can compete with Adobe and any other software that you have, and it's really user-friendly. I like to use the PC version better than the phone. The phone can lag if you have longer videos and you're using a lot of different effects. If you're not using a lot of effects and you're not doing really long videos, the phone can be really a good tool to use for editing, but I prefer the PC, so we're going to go over the PC version in this video. Now, again, I use my phone. I use the back end, the regular camera mode to record buildings or record sceneries or dropping off packages. And when I record my face, I use the front facing one so I can see where my face is. Now, I either mount it on the dash cam mount that I have in the car, or I'll just hold it up with my hand like this and just talk into the camera while I'm recording. Once you're done, I highly recommend when you're recording, record in order. You don't want to record something and then say, oh, I forgot something, and then record again. I mean, you can if you want to, but it's better to have them in order so then when you transfer the files, everything's in order so you don't have to go around and move things around. What I use to transfer the files is I use this little uni thing. The reason I do this is because it's a lot faster when you have one of these dongles instead, because if you're transferring with a USB cord, sometimes it can take a long time, especially if you have, let's say, like 70 videos you took for your shift. It can take a while to transfer. With one of these, it's really, really fast. And how it works is it just takes one of these micro USBs here, and it transfers it in. You plug it into your phone, and then you can go into the phone settings and transfer from your phone to the USB. And then from there, you plug it into your computer and you can transfer over the files. This makes it a lot easier as well, so that you don't have to go into your phone and delete the files once they're done. If you're running out of space, you can actually just use the move here option and it'll move it to your computer, and you don't have to do any deletion when you do it. They're very, very cheap. I think it was like $14.99 or even cheaper than that. So, and you can get it on Amazon for like 1-day shipping. So once you open up Capcut, you can hit this little import button, and you're going to go to wherever you transferred your files from your phone. Now, I have a folder called Mad Dasher, obviously, because that's my YouTube handle. And then I make little folders for each of the days that I have recorded. Now, I'm going to do the day that I did the other day, 5/23. And instead of opening it up, you can open it up and then transfer each and every single one of these individually. I don't really want to do that though, because it takes a lot of time to do that. So instead, I'm just going to select the folder and press import folder. That's going to drag the entire folder over into Capcut, and you can double click to open up that. Now, when I transferred the files from my phone, I also transferred the screenshots, because you're going to want to take screenshots of whatever the orders are that you're doing. Now, you can drag one video at a time if you want to do that, but I personally want to drag multiple videos at once. So you're just going to copy all of them over. And we're going to stop here because there's one screenshot there. And then you can drag the whole bunch into the little panel down here. It'll give Capcut a second, because it'll take a second to propagate the videos that you just did. Once you do that, you can then get the rest of the videos that you left over and drag them over. And right now you can't really see any of these. So what you can do is you hit this little zoom in button over here, which expands them and makes it a little bit easier to see. Once you have all your videos, you can then, if you want to trim any video that you want, you move this over, you can trim your video, you can zoom in or crop a video however you want to do it. I know that pretty much these are all how I want to do it, because as I'm recording on my shift, I make sure to just record what I want to record. I actually don't take videos where, let's say I'm talking and then all of a sudden I mess up and I stop and then I start again. I don't do that. If I mess up, I hit stop and then I delete that video and I start recording again. That way I have something that I know that I'm going to use, so then later it's less editing that I have to do. Once you have everything in order, and I like to do this first to get all the videos in order first, because later on when you're adding screenshots, when you're adding music, when you're adding text, if you need to edit a video and let's say you move this video over, that's going to actually move all of your text and all of your screenshots, and it will make it so that they're out of whack. They're out of sync with where you want them to be. And then you're going to have to move all of them later. So you don't want to do that. You actually want to make all your videos out the way that you want to do it first. Make sure it's you edit any of the cutting that you want to do. Once that's done, you can move over. I like to do the screenshots first. Now, whatever layer is on top is going to be the layer that is displayed. So if I put this on top, you can see that this screenshot is going to be on top of the video that I had because it's on top of this one. Now, I don't actually want this one here. I got to make sure that I figure out where it should be. So if I play the video, so right there, I'm talking about what the order was given. So I'm going to move this. You can stop the line. See, I clicked here and that's going to put this little line right here. You can then move the screenshot over, or if you're dragging from up here, you drag it down and this is going to snap into place. And when it turns green, you know it's snapping into place. Now, I don't want to show this entire screenshot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. I'm going to make sure this is selected. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do resize. And then I'm going to resize it to wherever I want. I want to make sure that I'm only showing the information that I want to show. And then I can resize by dragging the little box over and then putting it in the corner because I want to be able to show my face while I'm talking about it. So now it pops up exactly when I want it to be able to pop up. Now, before we go on to the next part of this video, I'm just going to be able to, you can add the rest of the pop-ups down here. But for right now, we're just going to assume that I did that for the rest of this video. So I'm not going to add the screenshots for the rest of the video because that's going to take a long time. What I am going to do is that I'm going to show you from this part here until I drop off the order right here. So that's going to be the video I want to show. So for the sake of this video, I'm just going to delete the rest of this here because we're not going to use it. Now, once you have the first screenshot, now again, you're just going to replicate this for the rest of the video. So whatever we do in this small little section right here, you're going to replicate for the rest of the video. Okay? So once we have the screenshot in place for the first one, you're going to want to make sure that the rest of the video is okay. And then when you get over here to dropping it off, now with Uber Eats, I can't show the finalized order, but let's just imagine that this wasn't an Uber Eats, okay? So I'm going to pretend that this was a Doordash order. Make sure that it's in the right place. Move it over, resize. Resize this, move it over, make it a little bit smaller. Now, once we have that up, you go over to where I'm dropping off the package. Now, with Doordash, you're able to see the finalized order here. so you see what it is. And I like to show that sometimes. And you can see that this one ran over a little bit. So all I have to do is just drag it over to make it size fit. And again, we need to resize this because I don't want to show this entire screenshot. No one wants to see that. So again, we resize it, hit confirm, drag it over to where we want, and that's perfect. So now when we drop it off, pops up. Now, if you just heard from some of the excess audio, it's a little bit loud, right? Especially when it gets to the car part here. I don't want to really listen to that, right? So what you can do is any of the videos that have audio that's not really important, you select them, go over to audio at the top, and you can just reduce the audio. So now that we have that reduced and we have the screenshots up, we want to be able to add text to it. So what I like to do, especially when it comes to dropping off the order, is I like to add text. So we'll go over here at the top left, select the text, and then I'll go to effects. And I have the pro version of Capcut, so I can use this one. But there's a lot of different options that you can use that isn't pro. Now because it's money, I'm gonna select green. And then from here, you can select whatever you want. Now, if you don't have pro, you can select this one, it'll pop up. You can select whatever green option you want. But because I have pro, I'm gonna select the one that I usually select, and you just drag the effect over. And then you're gonna want to make sure that it's the same length as the video. And from here, you can change the default text. Now, what I like to do is I say total. Now you can do whatever you want, doesn't matter. And the total for this order was $12.50. Now, if you wanted to show the total for all of the orders that you did, and let's say the next one was $10, and you would just add $12.50 to $10, and the total will be $22.50. But for this instance, it's $12. Now, I don't want it to be that big of a text, so I'm going to, again, drag the little box, make it a little bit smaller, and then you can just move it over. I like to put it in the top corner. So then, now, pops up when you're ready to drop off the order. Now, the next thing we want to do is I like to add little audios to these little pop-ups. So you're going to go over here to the audio tab. I'm going to go to this button that says sound effects. Now, I've already made some, you can hit the little star to save whatever audios that you like that you want to use in the future, which I've done already. But if you want to look for a specific one, you just hit the search and it will actually save the searches that you've been looking for. And if you want to have a pop sound, just type in pop and it will pop up all of these options for sound effects, which is pretty cool. But I've already selected one that I use. So once you find the sound effect that you want to use, do the same thing. You drag it over and you want to snap it into exactly where the beginning part of that pop-up is. So right here, it'll actually pop up blue or green, whatever color that is, and you just drop it down. So now when you do it, it will make that little pop sound when the thing comes up. Alternatively, when I have a cash symbol come up, you kind of want to make that little sound, a ching, the little cash sound. So I've already saved one already that says money, coin, cash register. Again, we're going to just drag this over to the beginning of where that little pop-up thing is. So now when you play this, you have that little cash register sound pop up. So we have the pop-ups, we have the sound of the pop-ups, we have the text messages of the pop-ups. You can now replicate that for the rest of the videos. I highly recommend though, like I said, doing the videos first. Get all the videos done. do each thing in segments. So do the videos first, then I'd put all your screenshots where you want them to be first. Don't do the sounds yet. Don't do the text yet. Once you have all the screenshots where you want them to be, then move on to the next thing. I move on to the text first, and I do the text wherever I want to be, because I have a calculator open on my computer, so I don't have to do head math, even though, you know, you probably do head math, but it's just easier to have the calculator open while you're doing it. And I do the text for every single part of it. Once all of that is done, then you come over to the sound effects and you do all the sound effects afterwards. Now, we're not done, right? Because we want to be able to have some cool music, right? So what I use as far as music is I use Soundstripe. Now, what you can use for Soundstripe, you find whatever music you want to play. You can see that I've already looked at some stuff, and you can kind of like preview, you know, what music you want to. All right, so this one sounds good. I actually use this one a lot. I like this one. You go over to, and this is a paid service. I think it was like $14.99 or something like that. But what it does is it's royalty-free music. So it connects your YouTube account to the Soundstripe. You put it in your YouTube account. So then automatically, whenever you upload a video to YouTube, they will automatically take away any copyright claim that's on it. You actually don't have to do anything. I've used this for every single one of my videos. No copyright claim has ever come up. It's pretty cool. They have a pretty big library. You can search for, first of all, just make sure I hit the download button, MP3. They'll go into my downloads. If you want to search from here, you know, there's a lot of different, you can go by genre, you can go by, electronic, they have playlists, they have, there's a whole bunch of different things you can do. Once you find the music, and they also have, videos that you can do if you want to have stock videos of, things that are playing. They also have sound effects that if you wanted to find sound effects for whatever you're doing. So this is another thing, but it's easier to do sound effects in Capcut, I think, because it's already there. So once you find the music that you want to use, you're going to go up into the audio again and go to here where it says extracted audios. Once you hit extracted audios, you're going to hit import again. But here we're going to go to downloads because I just downloaded it. And you can see I download a bunch of the music from here. So this is the top one that we just downloaded. You can double click on that. It's going to extract the audio. And from here, you can drag it down to where you want it to be. So from here, this little button here, you can either move this up or down to change the volume of it, or you can change the volume from here. Now, when I'm talking, I don't really want to have the music too loud while I'm talking, otherwise you're not going to be able to hear me talk too much. You can a little bit, but it's not that great. So what I do, if you are playing music while you're talking, you can do two different options. First of all, you bring over this little slider to the end of where you're talking, hit the audio, and you're going to hit this little split button. And that's going to split the audio into two, and you can move it around, snap it together, whatever you want to do. This little button here, if you drag this little thing, that's going to have the music fade in or fade out. So when you play it, it's going to fade in nice and slow. I use that a lot in transitions. But for in this case, so we're going to play you can either play the music while you're talking, or you can just get rid of the music entirely so that there's no music while you're talking, but only music while you are having the non-talking parts. For this instance, we're just going to show you the music while I'm talking, but we're going to reduce the volume while I'm talking and keep the volume high for when I'm not. So now you saw that it's quiet while I'm talking, but loud where I want it to be. That is essentially it. That's all you have to do for videos. It will take some time to get used to, but once you get used to things, things get a little bit easier. Now, I set up folders for specific things. Like I set up folders for green screen things. Like if you use the same green screens a lot, you want to be able to save that green screen so you don't have to look it up every time. You can just go to your folder, and I have a folder called green screens. The last thing that I usually do this first, but I'm doing it last here now. But the thing also you want to do is you want to have an intro to, and again, I saved my intro to, so these are all my final videos. I have a different folder for the final videos, and I have a intro saved that I use on a regular basis. It's called intro right here. So if you want to do it, let's say that, let's get rid of this. Oh, see, that's why you do the videos first, because if you get rid of things, all of your screenshots will stay where they are, all the music will stay where they are, but the videos will move. So if you need to undo, just hit this little button here. It'll undo whatever you just did. So I guess I'll keep that there, but if we want to put an intro before all of this, and see how it's moving. So I'm going to do a little bit of a technique here, a little bit of advanced technique, but you can actually select all of it, right click, and then create compound clip. So now it just puts all of that into one, and you can move the intro here, and then we can right click again and do uncompound clip. So now nothing is moved. So now, in the beginning of this, and actually I'm going to do this again just to get rid of these ones. Alright. Let's do an undo compound clip. So now when we're starting, now usually before the intro, I'll do a different intro. The first 30 seconds of your video, you really want to make as interesting as you possibly can, because if you're not interesting enough, people are going to move on from your video. That's why sometimes you'll see that I did the Happy Gilmore intro or whatever. I'll actually just open that up right now, because it's the same video. So this is the video that I made, that I released today. So what you can see is that I made all of the screenshots above, all of the sound settings here. In between, you can see that I put a little fade on the music. So like in this section right here, while the music's going to go away, it will fade. And I actually put it a little bit over where I am so that it will fade like in the beginning of where I'm talking. So we have those done for every single one of these. You can see where the musics have been. I chopped off the music so you couldn't hear when I was speaking. But again, the intro is pretty important. So in here, I had the intro of Bob Barker beating up. I made it look like Doordash. I'll go over another video how to make these intros. But once it's done, it will go into the intro here. And here you can see that I have a transition. The transitions are up here. And you can pick whatever transition you want. Like technically you can put a transition on anything. Like I don't normally use them as far as these. It does add a lot of time if you want to go into do transitions for all of them. One thing you can do is you can search for mix, And what Mix will do is it just makes it easy. It just kind of blends it together. See, it just blended it. And what you can do is, if you click on it, you can go to this thing that says apply all, and it will apply it to the rest of the video. I don't like doing that, but you can if you want to. I'm just going to delete that by left clicking and delete. So that's pretty much it. You can see where the music was, the intros. I do this for every single one of my videos. From there, you can make a thumbnail. I usually try to take a screenshot of whatever face I want to use. Like if I wanted to use that one, I could just take a screenshot of this. And then from there, you can build a thumbnail from that. No, I don't want to save it. That's all it is. It's very simple, basic guide to how to make videos. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. I'd be happy to make follow-up videos of this. But as of right now, this is how I'm making my videos. All I use is my phone. There's no fancy equipment that I use. I use my phone. I transfer it over into the PC. You can see the quality is pretty good. You can change other things with like noise and stuff if you really wanted to, by going to audio, and they have a noise cancellation, so a noise reduction. So if you're like driving and you hear some bumps, or you hear a window open or something, you can hit the noise cancellation. It also has voice isolation. So if you're in a restaurant and you're talking and there's music in the background and you actually don't want to hear the music because you don't want to be getting a copyright claim, you can hit the voice isolation and you won't hear the copyright claim anymore. But that's essentially all I use. If you have any questions, hit me up. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned something, and I'll catch you in the next one. Dasher out.